know that. How's it going, kids? Drawing something purple in to tie in with everything else on screen. When we're human, thank you for the follow, man. Drop a hi in the chat. Good to hear from you. Straight out of the gate. I've been on screen for what, 10 seconds? See, let me know if the music's too loud or too quiet or what have you. I think I saw, I was rewatching one of my streams earlier and it was a little quiet. Ain't no good. But today we're keeping on with the big bad evil guys theme and we're going to do a Lich. Just glitched. It should have dropped you into an advert like immediate and then let you through. But you're here now. You're good now. As long as you're here now, then that's all that counts. If it's still giving you the runaround, then that might suggest another issue. Let's, where do we want to start this? I reckon on this masquerade mask. You have a big bad evil girl. I have been liking drawing all these bad guys because I spend a lot of time. Oh, that's completely wrong brush. I spend a lot of time drawing heroes, so drawing bad guys is a good change of pace. Oh, here we go. How's your week been going, man? I hope you've been good. Been comfortably busy, but not too busy, you know? Tiring. Man, we're only on Tuesday. Unless you're working like retail or something, in which case the week starts whenever. Well, you come and you can chill out here because it's me that's going to stress over all this drawing. So you can just hang back and talk about whatever the hell you want and we'll just bounce words off each other. That's all we do. So mine's been crazy busy as well. I've been back to work after a week off, so catching up on everything that's sort of gone wrong while I've been away from my normal job. So I think before the end of the week I'll be with you on it being tiring. Draw something I've never really dabbled with before. And that's actual like loop protectors. Nice big chunky. Chunky loop. Your big bad evil girl totally isn't a pansexual vampire. That sounds like an admission that she totally is a pansexual vampire. Where did I get this idea? Honestly, Google image search. Just finding reference photos and stuff like that. I don't know if it's all still up or not. No, just colour wheels. Basically what I do to like help generate ideas is I'll save images that I find throughout the week and just sort of have concepts in my mind as the sort of day goes on before I actually start sketching anything out. So I'll have a couple of ideas of what I want to put on paper, whatever, before I actually sit back on the iPad proper. Other than that, it's all sorts, like movies, TV shows. References come from everywhere. All my brushes are the wrong thing because I was drawing something else earlier. I've been trying to get a new profile picture on the go, but it's been hard goings. I still know what I want from them. Alright, she's building like a vampire coven, that's good. It's how you make friends. In a more literal sense, you make them. So I'm not sure about this loopy loop so far. That, and I can finish off this hem of the hood. So then I'll know how much of the crown I actually want to draw. This crown is a hell of a complex shape, so I really don't want to mess it up. I feel like I'm getting the feeling that you're starting to describe a TV show or something. It's feeling suspiciously familiar there, We Were Human. It's a lonely vampire girl, misses a dead girlfriend, and her adopted son both kick the bucket and just want someone to love. So, what am I doing on this side? There's more hair down there. Kieran, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. Right at the last hour and change at work. Matt, so you're close to home time. Another day done. Right, let's jump down here. A little more angular for this. 8 minutes. It can stay quiet. Once you get to like the 30-minute stage, I think all the problems will become tomorrow's job. That's for tomorrow's Shy Guy to do. Exactly, yeah, I've worked those kind of jobs before. I know the deal. Which drawing liches at the moment, and I kind of want to know what people's favourite liches are. Like in movies, TV shows, video games, anything like that. I want to share some lich stories with everyone. Because they are such a good bad guy for your D&D games. Right. So I've had a low-key an idea for liches for a while. I've used them in a couple of D&D games. My favourite one is, it was a good lich, which are a thing, they do exist. And in D&D, typically what a good lich looks like, whereas a normal lich like sort of rots and decays, almost like the mummy from The Mummy. Good aligned liches tend to have ghostly translucent skin, so they look like a ghost with a skeleton hovering in the middle of them. And it was a lich called baaaad. It was basically just Jeff Goldblum rocking around as an undead catman. Big sort of Grandmaster vibes. So I love the idea of like a wizard that's so obsessed with power that they sort of transcend death. So any example of them in like film and video games, like I feel like Skyrim has an abundance of liches but never really calls them that. So like every cave you go in ends up having like a dragon priest, and they're basically liches, in all but name. So we're still know exactly what a lich is. So a lich is basically a wizard or like an arcane practitioner of some variety that's figured out how to cheat death. So one in popular culture is technically Voldemort from Harry Potter is a lich, because they'll typically remove their soul from their body and stick it in some sort of an object, like an item, like a bottle or a gem, or like it can be anything really. It's writer's discretion, but that's called their phylactery. The slight difference with like Voldemort is he had I think 9 of them, and they're called Horcruxes. So he had 9 different phylacteries basically, and the only way to kill a lich really is to destroy the phylactery and then go kill him. Whereas if you defeat a lich while it's still got a phylactery, you will kill the form, but then its energy and its being will go back to this phylactery and regenerate there. It's basically the housing for the soul. That's what tethers it to the like mortal plane, and so that's why it's like you have to take out all the Horcruxes for Voldemort. You've got to find like the MacGuffin for a lich. So they make really good bad guys because they require a quest to go on to kill them first. You can't take them out without doing your research. unless it's a really bad Lich and they're hanging out in the room where their phylactery is. They haven't hidden it at all. But yeah, they're basically just wizards that have sort of either turned to necromancy or they've achieved some sort of immortality, and the price typically is a lot of their like sensibilities. Typically, they become evil. Lele Benet, how you doing? It's good to see you. Checking out some liches and sort of giving a little bit of an info dump on what they are, what they're about, and why they make such good bad guys. Because a lich worth their salt has protected themselves 100 times over. They're not stupid. They're going to be very smart. A, because they figured out how to be immortal. But also, like, they know exactly what people are going to do to try and kill them. I'm good, thank you. I'm really good. I was excited for tonight because I feel like I've not streamed artwork in a long time. It's just been the normal week, but it feels like it's been a lot longer. So I was actually really excited for tonight. So I'm glad you could come and join. Finally come and hang out. He's been sorely missed. So I'm actually really looking forward to drawing all this hair. Thank you, Lele. I appreciate that. Well, it's gonna get better regardless. I was on the previous stream, art stream. We're doing the Orc Warlord. I was really dreading doing all of her like dreads and stuff, just because I've never done much in the way of dreadlocks or anything like that in terms of drawing. So I was really dreading something new. Whereas this wicked lady just has that sort of wild undead hair, which I'm really, really psyched about. So it's gonna be a lot of freedom. Yeah, right. That's the best thing is I know the only way is up. So. So Lele, I was asking people what their favourite examples of liches were in sort of pop culture and things like that. So you've got to give yours as well. Some nasty crooked teeth. And then some that's a little bit fang-like. It sort of inhumanises them a little bit. Yeah, what's your favourite lich? So any sort of undead sort of magic person. So Voldemort would be a good idea of a lich. Even Saruman would be a lich, I'd say, just because they're sort of death-defying, magic is all hell, big evil dudes. Technically, the Mummy from the Mummy is a lich. Let's see if I can Google some famous liches just to jog some memory, or give people some ideas. Famous liches. So, a lich is basically anything that's undead. A lot of necromancy, a lot of stuff like that. So the Lich from Adventure Time. I can't believe I forgot that. Tons in video games. You got a bunch in Warcraft, World of Warcraft. I think Dota 2 is one Kieran's mentioned before. what's your favorite big, powerful dead guys? That's all. That's all there is for like classification of what is a lich and what isn't. So they kind of have a lot of like, it's a sort of nebulous creature because any sort of like powerful undead thing. Apparently, in the second season of Lost Girl, one of the chief antagonists is a lich. Let's make this a little bit fancier. Big, powerful magic practitioner. They're gonna have fancy stuff. Damon Salvador. Let's have a quick Google. Salvatore. So he's big hunky man, at the very least. On his wiki page, his yeah, Walt Disney definitely counts. Vampire still dead. He's dead-ish. He's dead plus. So vampires are slightly different. They need people to live. Liches are basically figured out how to live forever. In most cases, they've learned how to live forever. So they'll either need no food, no water. At most, they might need souls to power their sort of phylacteries. That's where they keep their soul, and they will feed souls to that to keep their soul fresh and still juicy, I guess. Sorry, the... Okay, no worries at all. For the benefits of the chat, so I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want me to give any detail on what you were asking about, but my streams, anywhere that I'm present, I always try and make a safe place to ask questions, because there's a lot of stuff with queer folk and queer culture that aren't inherent knowledge. You've got to learn that from somewhere. So I'm always happy to be an educator as best as I can. So, just quickly, Lele, no, it wouldn't be weird to say you haven't really come across one, because they kind of get muddled in what they're called. So I would say Voldemort is a lich. In fact, they sort of defied death because he split his soul up and put it into the, was it 7 or 8 Horcrux? And that's basically what a lich does. They take their soul, stuff it into an object. Usually it's one, so Voldemort was atypical in that he had more than one. And then through that sort of like separation of him and his soul, he gains immortality. So that's probably the best sort of like pop culture reference I could think of. But it gets a little bit muddled, and like basically any big undead magic dude or lady can sort of hold the title of Lich if they don't fit into anything else. So like, what's the mummy called in The Mummy? I know he would count as a Lich. So what Keon was referencing earlier was a friend of his. Their kid had just come out as transgender. So 8-year-old little sprogling now identifies as female. So Keon's friend now, up until this point, had a son. Now has a daughter, and sort of. So Keon was just wanting to know, like, what's the best way of going around this? I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I would like to know more. Do I have to be considerate of any specific things? I want to know more. Want to know how to navigate the situation, but don't want to step on toes. Don't want to upset anyone, because I know, or like I say, like Keon, I'm speaking as you were aware that it can be quite a delicate situation, and it can be quite raw for someone who's just sort of confirmed their intention to transition, or just their sort of stepping out to transition. So having known a couple of trans folk, and still do, I volunteered a little bit of information I could. I admit full-heartedly that I am not the most knowledgeable in terms of trans issues, but I know one of the biggest things you can ever do is just listen to them, accept them. If they say they are one way or another, that is the end of it. There's all the convincing you would ever need is to just accept that when they say they are one thing, they are that thing. Whether they identify as male or female or agender or anything in between male, female, or even not on the spectrum of gender at all. The best thing to do is just go, cool, like, message received. I will use whatever pronouns you feel appropriate for yourself until further notice. And generally, if you follow that, like, you can't really go wrong. A lot of time, people have questions like, what are your intentions from here on out? What do you want to? What's your intention with transitioning? Do you want to go full? There's always like a ton of questions that you want to go like, so what are your intentions now? This is a huge life-changing thing. And as someone who is queer at the very least, it can be tiring sometimes to get the questions all the time. So I think going off and doing your own research or asking someone else, and not necessarily dogpiling the immediately affected party, with sort of questions and like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Absolutely fantastic decision by Keon to go to other people and go, hey, I am, just through lack of information, ignorant on a subject. And ignorance is never a bad thing. Willful ignorance is a bad thing. But everyone by default starts out ignorant. It's just how knowledge works. So I have a huge amount of respect for Keon for coming to the Noodle Clan, to the queer part of the Noodle Clan in particular, and going, hey, I need to know more. I want to know more. I've identified there's a lack in my knowledge, and that shit will not stand. And it's a good little discussion of just how things tend to go when young people in particular announce and confirm that they are trans. So that's all it was. And I didn't have a huge amount. I had a little bit. And I'm in the queer community, so I have some sort of perspective, but I'm not transgender myself, so I don't have the fully realised, 100% clear cut, here is what it's like to be trans. But I can offer my experiences of being around trans people and having trans people as close friends. So that's all I can do. And basically it is just accept it, support them, confirm it. If they've thought about it enough to go, okay, this is going to be public, guarantee they've been thinking about it for months and months and months, most likely years before even getting to that point. That's what you're saying. You feel his younger brother is gay, possibly transgender, and it was something we all knew anyway, but your mum was really accepting and now helps him with anything he wants. That's really sweet. That's the best thing to do. Yeah, absolutely, Lily. Accepting you're not clued up about something is a massive step, a brave one. Love it. Absolutely. The whole accepting that I don't know everything there is to know about a given subject can be kind of daunting. Because if you go to the wrong place, you worry that they're gonna like treat you like an idiot. Like, oh my god, you didn't know X and Y. Like, what are you, some sort of caveman? No. No one by default knows shit. So that stuff has to be learned somewhere. Yeah, so for those who might not know, I identify as a primarily bisexual man. I am a cis man, and predominantly bisexual, but also sort of flirting into pansexual. Bisexual is more like just through routine and habit, whereas I think really, if we're going to be truthful about it all, I'm basically pansexual, just because it's a newer phrase to me in my life, is pansexual. So I haven't adopted it fully into like my wheelhouse of how I refer to myself. Because sexualities, genders, all that sort of jazz are almost constantly shifting as new terminology comes out and new knowledge is shared about people. Yeah, and yeah, I accept that it's absolutely fair to feel like, well, asking the question in the first place can be a daunting thing, because sometimes you can just accidentally misstep, and if someone doesn't know that you're coming from a place of love and wanting to understand, it can still trigger a lot of defense mechanisms for people, and they'll sort of go, how dare you use that word, fuck off, like, get away from me, I don't want to deal with it. Whereas people who sort of know your character know, hey man, like, say for example, a close friend of mine said a particular word which was offensive to the queer community, like dropping a hard Q, something like that. Like, if I knew that person wasn't actually bigoted in that sort of way, you'd want to take them aside and just go, hey, that's not cool, that's not okay. Let's try and take that out of your wheelhouse of words to say at any one time. No, it's good to accept and acknowledge that, and acknowledge that you've made the progress to do that. Saying you used to be a lot more bigoted, quietly so. Not that it's great, but you've definitely come a long way. And honestly, the most bigoted people that I've met, it's usually just lack of knowledge. They don't know about something. They're almost told they're not allowed to ask about it. Whereas that's sort of like, if you don't know, then it's already too late. Like, unhelpful sort of. Well, if you don't know, you don't know, and if you don't know, well, then you don't know. Well, how does someone know? How do you find out? And that's just from people being approachable, which I think a lot of people in the Noodle Clan have been with the queer channel that's been set up there. So no, I think as far as I'm concerned, as a proud member of the queer community, you're doing all right, Keon. You're all right. You're good. You're a good egg. And Lily, it sounds like your family is the perfect place for a little queer kid to be raised in. No doubt your mum's been dealing with a lot of that sort of stuff as well. Like, I don't know what my child has said, like they identify some things, or they're displaying some tendencies, or they're clearly acting or identifying with an ideology that I might not be familiar with, or I don't know what what's going on. I've heard news stories about stuff for years, I've seen them in TV and stuff, but I don't know what having someone like that in my home really entails. So absolutely mad props to your mum for taking that all in stride and making your little brother feel accepted. So that's really good to hear. I'm really happy to hear that. Your little brother's doing alright. He's doing alright by his family. So, super happy they came out because we knew from the very young age and he always denied it. There are some kids where you just kind of know. Like, there was definitely a couple of guys at school that I went to where we knew, we knew them for years and years and years, and like everyone kind of knew that they were gay. They knew, or at least bisexual. We knew that they weren't straight, and eventually, like, a lot of them kind of came out sort of towards the end of the school, like, I don't know what you call it, the school run, like towards sixth form or end of GCSEs. And when they came out, the sort of the prevailing, sort of the prevailing, like, mood around it or reaction to it was, duh, we knew that. Like, you haven't been that quiet about kissing boys on the sly. Also, like, it's just clear, like, you've never had an active interest in girls. You've expressed a fondness to a lot of, like, male celebrities the same way younger girls are doing. Like, sometimes it's not a quiet kept secret. So I always feel sorry for kids like that, where it's like almost like the steam of, like, the coming out story has sort of been taken from them, because it's like, yeah, obviously everyone knew. Are you kidding me? And it's just such a relief when they actually say it proper. Yeah, absolutely. So once he finally admitted it, it was like a sigh of relief. You go, oh, thank God, he's accepting himself. And now you have the chance to properly accept him publicly. So no, that sounds really good. And, like, I'm happy for, like, these streams to, like, get into proper queer talk, because I have no set agenda for what I want to talk about on any given stream. So if you guys ever have, like, any questions or anything like that, then please do consider this or any video of mine to be a safe place to ask questions and sort of just go like, hey, so what does this mean? And I'll be very honest, I don't know everything, but whatever I do know, I will absolutely share. Obviously, pick your moments. Like, if I'm going toe-to-toe with Ganon, and you put a message in the chat saying, help, I don't know what to do, my cousin's just come out, and they're asking me for a reaction, and I'm sat here watching your stream, avoiding eye contact, because I don't know what to say. Like, I might be preoccupied with Ganon, so give me a couple of minutes. But other than that, fire away. So I remember actually, so, like, with my folks, I thought I was, I was out. I never really considered myself in the closet, formally. So I never had any, like, sort of formal coming out. People just kind of knew stuff about me. And it wasn't until a couple, like, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, that I just sort of went, I just wanted to, like, touch base with my mum, double check, like, my parents knew. Apparently they didn't know, just because I'd never brought anyone home, male or female. And my mum's reaction to me going, like, just to double check, you know I'm bi, right? Was to take a step back and, like, point and go, I fucking knew something was up. So I think very much like your little brother, Lele, like, my parents kind of figured something was going on, but it was never confirmed one way or another, just because I'm a fucking idiot and don't talk about that stuff too much. So they were kind of left out in the cold by accident. I think it's yeah, some people need to pick a good time. I mean, I'm mostly joking, like with like video games and things like that. That's why I'm glad the server exists. Didn't expect to get such a knowledgeable answer from everyone. I think it's a thing that a lot of like the proactive members of the queer community are doing pretty constantly. Is just being active and listening and learning stuff as well. Because, like I said, no one knows this stuff by default. It's not how knowledge is transferred. Like, there is no genetic knowledge for being gay or anything like that. So a lot of people in the queer community are absolutely still learning and continuing to learn, and because of that, it ends up a lot of people build up quite a wealth of knowledge, and it's something that I don't think seeps properly into the wider sort of human society, like human culture. I'm trying to find a different way other than saying like pop culture, because it's not quite the same thing. Yeah, my mum has a flair for the dramatic, so it's any wonder why I came out the way I did. My sister's reaction was actually like kind of, alright, whatever, okay. You're still my brother, you're still an idiot. You're just a bit of a queer idiot now. I didn't blink. So that was good fun. So what am I doing with this? I don't know about my younger siblings. They keep their interests to themselves too, except for one of them. Yeah. I mean, like, chances are they're probably going to be, like, mostly straight. No worries, Lily. I know, like, our schedules are basically the same. So I'm really happy that you've jumped in just before I know your stream starts. It's kind of what makes you quite an easy raid target, because I know chances are you're going to be online a little bit later than I go. So I try and jump in yours when I can, but it's usually after I've streamed. So I am beat, and it is time for bedtime. It's like bedtime. These are just fancy swirls. They don't mean anything. They just make it look good. If I have viewers, I'm going to send them somewhere. So where am I actually going with this? I spent so much time talking about gay shit. I don't know what I'm doing. Which is like part of the course for me, to be honest. So, what I'm liking with this character is big, layered collars. Because I always appreciate a one-person raid, right? Hey man, anytime like a raid doesn't happen, it's a wasted opportunity. Because you never know, that one person you drive to someone else's channel, they might immediately fall in love. And go, oh, this person is the streamer that I've always wanted. Like, their content ticks every box I've been searching for. So I am absolutely here for the one-person raids. Right, I'm gonna get these little fiddly bits here done. tiny little belt buckles. One over here as well. So I'm trying to think what else I've been doing this week. I think I've been fully bitten by the Lego Marvel Superheroes games again, because they are just... I don't know if anyone else thinks this, but are Lego games way better than they have any real right to be? Like, I don't know what it is, but they have such a consistent quality to them, and it's always so tongue-in-cheek. That is, they are always like spot on for whatever subject they're tackling. So I've used Lego Marvel Heroes as a break from a big Dark Souls marathon. They are a lot of goofy fun. They're good chill out games as well. Like, because they're kids games. Ultimately, they are kids games, so they're not the most difficult things in the world. But they are a lot of fun. So I think the first one was the first Lego game I ever properly played, and then I'm now playing Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. And I don't know if the name carries much weight over in America, but the big bad of the entire game, Kang the Conqueror, is voiced by Peter Serafinowicz, and he is just one of the funniest human beings in the entire history of Earth. So every time he's on screen, you know that it's time for a good time. Because he's just so dry. I'm not liking the position of that, actually. Let's move it so. Up here like this, that's all. And what I can do is bring that down like that. So this is the great thing about working digitally. Is do-overs. I am addicted to having do-overs. That's actually upside down, isn't it? It's fine. I can fix this. I was thinking, why did that teardrop shape not fit in there? Because it's the wrong way up. That's what I wanted. No worries, man. Thank you for looking around as well. I appreciate it. So I'm just going to be finishing off these gemstones here. Because what self-respecting Lich isn't going to be absolutely decked out to the nines in magical gear? There we go. And then just cutting out these bits to create almost, I imagine them being golden. I'm not going to be colouring this piece at all. But if I was a betting man, these little cutouts would absolutely be golden. Down here. And that up here. That down. Finish off this shape here. And this line comes out to this shape. And then the top half is starting to come together. I am low-key dreading what's going to happen with all this ragged clothing down here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. It's going to be a lot of detail. But let's finish off one of these shoulders. This is what's going to really help make this Lich look badass. I don't know who tailors for wizards in fantasy realms, but it's always the most extravagant of clothing. You know the outfit is always on point. You look at Doctor Strange or Gandalf and Sauron. Most of the teachers from Harry Potter, every wizard is absolutely decked out in the finest robes, the craziest outfit, the most impractical of collars. And that's how you know. You judge a wizard on the size of their collar. Oh, let's feel. So, bring that down there, and this across here. There, that'll be shine, a wrinkle. These things are almost bolted onto the fabric. Not sure if that's quite the same size. There we go. So then the collar's there, so we can now just draw properly into the collar line as we want. It's basically separated out everything from the collar up, so we can properly dive into that without worry. So what we're also going to do is we're going to draw this collar. And a little button in there as well. And then another link. Yeah. It's about here. I feel like I need to do like almost like a jewelry stream where I just practice drawing jewelry for various heroes and villains. Because it's something I really like doing. This decking out characters and a lot of finery. The better the jewelry, the higher level the character, I feel. So let's go around here. I'm going to intersect this at the moment. That's only because I'm not sure where that talisman is going to go eventually. Create like a ruffle. Yeah. So I can be kind of heavy with these lines because all this hair is going to be black, like jet black, and then maybe some highlights in terms of just like rubbing stuff out. So I can be really, really like heavy with these lines because I know this hair's going to mess everything. Something I'll do is if you still want the form of the costume in there as well, you don't want to lose that. Not properly anyway. But drawing this line down here, basically pointless because there's going to be so much hair just all over the place on that side of the face. So it's going to properly obscure most of it. One of the first real times that I'm going to properly have a big chunk of black on the line work because I think it really calls for it. So that can be all black, at least down to there. That's the one. That collar needs to come down here. So I think this character basically has, at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 collars. I think that might be just enough. So I'm going to have a lot of these coming up. I don't need to be too worried about them, to be honest, because they're going to terminate somewhere in the hair, so it doesn't need to go all the way up, but to have them at least starting out down here is very important. Have like the hair sort of spilling over as well. Because his hair is evil and writhing and probably getting absolutely everywhere. So if I was just to drop block in there, what would that do? So we start to see the hair really come. I'm going to edge this face out, just so I can drop black in there and I won't worry about covering up any teeth or any part of the face I don't really want it to. So I can really, what I can do is block out the hair, and then, so basically no light's getting through these bits at all. These big old tendrils, and then I can draw hairs coming out of those any which way I need them. Proper, like, just all over the place and like sort of crossing over one another, because this Lich has a lot of hair but she doesn't take care of it. She's too busy being a Lich and doing evil shit, too busy unlocking the secrets of the multiverse to give a shit about proper hair care. That's the real reason she's a bad guy. She has all these wonderful locks, she's just not using them. All these like wispy, not quite jagged, but not the smoothest in the world. What's really important is that they all finish away in the same direction. Big lumps of really knotted hair. It's almost blunting out some of these little wispy bits. There we go, it's now starting to look like a real knotted, horrible bonnet. Just mess. Which is what we want for her. colouring in basically all this as well. Basically all this gets in black as well. Probably just really putting like some details into the hair now. Where this hair is going to go. And sort of like just reaching around the hood. So I think that's good enough for now. That allows us to go a little bit further down into the rest of the costume. So, what are we going to do here? What we're going to do next, I think these almost like bat-like shoulder pieces. Good. And these are very, almost, I'd say, Warhammer-esque, like bat fins, bat wing fins, almost. You see a lot in like the vampire armies and the undead. Warhammer's a fantastic, like, just wealth of ideas for ridiculous fantasy characters. Cannot use enough Warhammer inspiration in anything I draw. Right, and this little evil trinket. I think big circular talisman. Similar to, but legally distinct from the Eye of Sauron. Or Eye of Sauron, rather, sorry. You know a Lich is going to be dabbling in all sorts of evil stuff. As they should. To maybe this is like the item that actually gave them their immortality in the first place. It was like the idol of some lost ancient nightmare god. Basically, it's just a demonic fascinator. The same way women wear them these days. Even in fantasy bad guys, you need a fascinator. And bring some strings down here. So to hold it all in place. Maybe even more strings. So you can see, like, it's starting to spiderweb across her form. Like, this is sort of like encapsulating some part of her, or like controlling, maybe. Or in some way, this is granting some sort of power through servitude. So that's a common thing with anyone that's dabbling in like the dark arts or anything like that. They're never fully in control. They're never really all there. It's not their power through and through. So whacking that in there, I think, is a good shout. And then I reckon this sort of like almost like a tongue down here. Slightly ruined at the edges because it's just so old. This lich is so old and everything's just a little bit tattered. Edge. And we can probably get some folds in here. Give it some sort of texture. Like a hole in it, which is so it's starting to just fall to pieces. Because that seems to be like the unifying thing between most liches, is that they have such grand power that everything else just kind of starts to fall to pieces. Like their clothes, their robes, all basically gone on the way out, like moth-ridden. They don't care about it because they're so obsessed with that singular grab of power. Basically, if it doesn't add to their power, they don't care. So even here, we can add a bit of a rip. Maybe even like a little hole in it here. So it doesn't have to be much, just a little bit of something to make you go, ah, this person isn't taking care of their garb. Put one here as well. Actually not. Don't like how that's come out at all. We will get rid of that in its entirety. Alrighty. What else do you want to do? I reckon a little bit, a couple of studs here. Just lets you know that it's not another bit of fabric. Metal banding or something. Yeah. You see all the ribs. Not exposed, but definitely showing through. A withered sort of, not quite fully skeletal form. Just a little bit of something left. Excuse me. So let's bring this forward. And here and that little. Almost like it's being compressed into the armpit. And then take a step back and have a look. Let's see what we want to do next. Which I'm thinking the arms would be nice. Or maybe even like start the hands and work way up to the elbow joints. Use these nice skeletons. I've taken the actual finger bone, like the fingertip bones, and elongated them a little bit, just a little bit claw-like, so not enough to be properly like a full weapon, but at least enough to make it look a little bit more gnarled, a little bit more eldritch. It just reinforces the point that, yeah, they're immortal, But maybe the humanity hasn't survived. Not fully, anyway. Dragon and Ball, how we doing, my man? Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Especially on a little bit of a quieter stream as well. How was your Skyrimming? I saw you were in the I dropped in for a brief second. I saw you were in the I think you're in the Wizards College, the Wizards House. I can't remember the guild, the Magic Guild, the Mage's Quest line. That's the one. I can't remember what it's called. I knew it was something magic related, but I knew like it's not the Stabby Guild, it's not the Sword Fightery Guild. It's probably the other guild. So continuing the theme, if you're just joining, we're drawing a Lich today, and we've done pretty much everything from the shoulder up, and then we're just working our way down. Yeah, man. So something that Skyrim's absolutely littered with is liches, in one way, shape, or form. So I've been excited for this one because I like. Again, it gives me an excuse to draw a skull, which I fucking adore. We'll take every opportunity possible to draw a skull. But was Skyrimming what the Doctor ordered after a couple of rough games of XCOM? I know those games have been hammering you pretty hard the past week or so. Exactly what the Doctor ordered. Yeah, the Dragon Priests are basically your classic Lich. Only big difference is there's no phylactery to take care of. That sort of having the phylactery in there, like from a game design point of view, makes them way more in depth than just slapping one at the end of a dungeon. Good. I'm glad you found your mojo again. No, that's happened to me a couple times. Avian, where the fuck have you been, my friend? Sorry, like, how's the party been? Man, without you, it's been a little bit lackluster. Not gonna lie. Like, Dragon brought some heat, as he always does. He's bringing some guns. There's always an avian hole. Avian hole, when you're not here. It's a point of pride for Dragon's Heat being a dragon in a bottle, right? How's your evenings and or afternoons going? Dragon might be in heat, I don't know. I don't know dragon biology. Skip that class. Didn't get my GCSE in that. You know exactly what's going on, Dragon. Don't even pretend. So Dragon's just coming down from a good stream. Avian, how's your evening been treating you? There's been more big life decisions. I won't divulge what they are on stream, but I know it's been a time of a time of big decisions. Good, keeping up with the family. Ooh, so you're moving. Awesome. Time to move out of the house you've been in. I don't know if you've been there for a while or what have you. But accepted the job, so it's time for a change. Excellent. No longer the Bonny Highlands. In the Bonny Lowlands, maybe. That's alright. It doesn't matter where you live these days, because no one can go outside anyway, because lockdowns. It's all about the friends you make online now. Even more so than ever has been before. But no, I'm excited for you, man. It'll be good fun. So what's your time frame on actually moving? Like, is it a pretty immediate thing, or are they giving you a little bit of time to get things in order? I'm interested. I want to know. Oh, they're actually letting you finish studying as well. Fantastic, even better. You get everything sorted then. There's no immediate starts or immediate, holy shit. Everything's shifting now. So you shared some good news on your week, so I'll share some good news from my week. My partner and I have been looking for a dog for a long time now. And just a couple of days ago, we found out about a new dog that's up for adoption. It wasn't on the website yet, so it was a hot tip from the dog, the shelter. And we've sent walkthroughs from our house. We're having a house check over Facebook, I think on Friday, so it might be by the end of the month I get a dog. An actual real live, honest to God, eats everything, shits in the garden dog. And I'm so excited. Yeah, absolutely. Dragon, absolutely the same enthusiastic energy. Dog! Fucking yes! I cannot wait. Like, nothing's set in stone. What kind? We don't know. It's a little white fluffy thing. But we don't know what the breed is. It's just... Honestly, my partner and I, we love dogs of all shapes, all sizes. And the only conditions that we really had were, because of the size of the flat that we live in, can't be a big dog. And also can't be a dog that likes running about a bunch, because we live in the middle of town. So we don't always guarantee that we can get out to the countryside or anything like that to really let them off proper. And has to be good with dogs, because we've got a lot of friends and family that have dogs, and we want to have them come over once all that's legal again. Once COVID sort of settles down and fucks off, we want our friends with dogs to come over to play with our dog, because we love dogs way more than we love like the idea of like friends that are having children and stuff like that coming over. So having a dog that was good with other dogs is a must, but that puts us pretty limited in sort of like what dogs we can really look at. I mean, we have to be sensible. A, because we're still renting this flat, so we can't just go like, oh, this dog is going to be bored all day and just tear everything to pieces. Would be a no-go. Can't do that. Any dog that's not good with the dogs will also be a struggle, because my partner's dad basically comes with the dog wherever he goes. We've got some friends that have dogs, and we'd love to have them to bring their dogs over. Cheltenham has a lot of dogs in it, especially now because of lockdown. Everyone's working from home. You cannot move for dogs in Cheltenham, so got to be good with dogs. Separation anxiety, we're not too fussed about, because I work from home and my partner's looking to work from home a lot now as well. So there's always been someone home. So separation anxiety doesn't factor in too much. But growing up, I did have a dog, a little Springer Spaniel Collie Cross, that had a lot, and I mean a lot, of separation anxiety. So I think we were kind of missold by the shelter about what this dog was like. Louis, my best friend growing up, and yeah, you leave the house for a second and he was wailing, he was clawing at the doors, he was running around, absolute panic, and basically he was like that until you came back in. So looking back at it now, we're kind of like, that dog wasn't the right fit, really. Because it would be, I think the last person to leave the house would be my mum, probably about 10 o'clock in the morning. And then Dad's already out, me and my sister are off at school. We wouldn't be back until after school, like 4 o'clock at the earliest. So it's a good 6 hours of the dog in the middle of the week just going fucking nuts. And like, not doing that again. It's not fair on the dog, it's not fair on us, it's a lot of hassle, it's not fair on the neighbours, because we have a lot of neighbours in a relatively built-up area. So we've been really, really, really picky about our dog. Yeah, I don't know. I won't do... We have a picture of the dog, but I won't show him on screen yet. Maybe if we actually get this dog, we'll do like a dog reveal. Because now, getting a dog, I've got to farm it for content, obviously. So yeah, maybe a dog reveal would be a good idea. Okay, we would wait a couple of weeks to a month or more, while the dog gets settled in, and we get settled into a routine with the dog, before like holding it up and going, shoving a camera in its face and sort of like shaking it on screen, like, look at this cute little fucker. Because we don't want the dog to like unnecessarily stress out in a new environment with new humans. But very excited to start farming that little shit for content. It's gonna get Instagram, it's gonna be on t-shirts, it's gonna be on lunch boxes. Yeah, that is another concern. Absolutely, Avian. Don't want it turning into a diva. If the dog gets bigger than me, then we're gonna have issues. I am the diva of the household. It's all about me. Ultimately, it is the Adam show, not the whatever this dog is going to be called show. The dog is supporting cast. I've been here since season 1. It's all about me. Yeah, so many big personalities. God, this little flat is going to be absolutely packed with personality. Honestly, like, I just want a dog that can roughhouse, that I can sort of throw about and like have a fun time with, because I like roughhousing with dogs. I absolutely love like wrestling with dogs. It's the best thing in the world. And little dogs love fighting. They're fighty little bastards. So I love little dogs. So I really cannot wait to test out this dog's mettle. Because no, Avian, I know you've got a dog, but I don't know much about the dog. Looks like a little spaniel type dog that I've seen. It's like on like the lower end of medium dog. Yeah, I see a lot of people. She's a Sprocker, half Springer Spaniel, half Cocker Spaniel. Oh wow! So definitely like I like a blanket like Spaniel, no non-denominational Spaniel. Yeah, I always like gave little dogs a wide berth, like they're kind of just like always like aggy little shits. But you find the right little dog, and they can be the best thing in the world. If they are like getting like a little bit too energetic or a little bit too involved or just into something you don't want, pick up, place away. Just, nope. And they don't claw you like the size of like a cat or something like that, where a cat would shred you to pieces. The dog typically won't. And they have that sort of like little dog, big man energy, so they think they're the hardest thing in the world. And they will love proving it to you if you give them the fight. But yeah, there's a lot of people get like little dogs like Chihuahuas and stuff like that and don't train them. They think that because they're really small, they're harmless, and then don't train them. And then you end up with a terrible little monster of a dog, which is really unfair to the dog and the owner. But little dogs trained right can be some of the best dogs you'll ever meet. The yapping, that's fair. I've come to terms with the yapping a lot, mainly because I used to be exactly the same as you, Avian. Didn't like them because I just thought they were really noisy. They were just little shits. They were like pointless little things. But now, like, having interacted with a lot of smaller dogs, I can see the value a lot more. And the yapping, like, I get it, they're small. They need to yap because otherwise they won't be seen. They'll get trodden on. So it's them letting you know that, hey, I'm here, don't stand back. Like, don't stand on me, I'm here. Because they're not like the bigger dogs where like you cannot miss like a Doberman or something like that. A Doberman will step on you before you step on it. Yeah, we're super lucky to live in a flat where the landlord is chill enough to just go, yeah, you get a dog, man, whatever. It helps that the flat that we live in used to be lived in by the handyman of the building, and he has 2 dogs that he goes with everywhere. The little like snowball terrier type thing, and a little Scotty dog that is the heftiest boy you've ever met. Never before have I seen a denser dog than Scotty dogs. They ain't the biggest, but they are the heaviest for their size. Yeah, that's that's bad ownership of a dog. Like, even if a small dog's yapping all the time, you gotta tell them to shut up. You gotta train them that they don't have to yap at everything. Same as children. But yeah, as soon as we get a dog that's settled into our home, dog reveal confirmed. We'll do like a whole like dog stream of like paid channel points to give the dog a treat or give it belly rubs or something like that. will make it a fun time. So much I've done too many there. That should be alright. No, no. So yeah, dog almost confirmed. Dog all but confirmed. But there's no worries. That dog will be loved within an inch of its life, but it will absolutely not be spoiled. I've seen enough people spoil their dog rotten, and it does nothing but undo any training that's gone before. Although I say that now, I will end up doting on it no end. Oh, I think I've said anything, but I've made a new channel reward for 1 million points. I thought I might as well. So if you want to spend 1 million points, you can dictate a game for me to stream. I thought it'd be good fun. If someone saves up that many points, then clearly they've been around for a long enough time that they've earned the right to dictate that I stream something at least once. So it'll be any game that I have reasonable access to. Like, don't suggest, like, I imagine someone saves up 1 million points and then suggests some shit like the NES, what do you call it game? ET game. Those just went in landfill. It was like super hard to get a hold of nowadays. So I think it'd be funny. So if you really want me to play something or another, then there's an avenue to do that and basically demand it. There's no getting around it. So I'm curious to, if and when anyone saves up that many points, and what they pick. I hope it's something good, but I also kind of hope it's something really trash. Something like a Barbie Princess adventure game. It's a great way to reward someone who's been here for a long time. Yeah, right. I don't know how you accrue points really, other than just like sitting in people's streams. I don't know if typing and interacting with the chat helps bump that up. But I'd be interested to see if anyone ever actually picks it up. In 10 years' time, it'd be Avian or Dragon just like, it's time! You're gonna play Tetris for 3 hours. Get Pong, yeah. Yeah, something that like no one has any interest in. Guaranteed like one viewer, that person that spent 1,000,000 points. Which I'm so down for. So, this bone is actually way bigger than the other one, which will not do. So let's change that up. Thin it on there a little bit, and we'll make that a little bit thinner as well. But it also sort of saves me from like someone going, "Oh, you play this really expensive game." Because if someone's racked up 1,000,000 points, chances are they've been here and they probably paid their way in just ad revenue for paying for the game. So it is like, play this brand new AAA title that's like 50 quid or more. Then I'd be like, okay, fair enough, you earn it. I'll make the effort. I don't know, you'll be able to see it for you guys, but I don't know if I can. If I have the points, like the chest drops. Yeah, every now and again there'll be the little green chest that wiggles next to the points of total. I don't know if that's something I need to enable myself, or is something that's already going. This will be interesting to see. Ah, cool. So they are popping up. Cool. Yeah, because I want that to be there. Because why not? It's a good little thing to boost interactions with the chat. But I couldn't see any option for it to be turned on, and I can't see it on my end. Because all I see is little barrels icon and then just the infinity symbol. You're wasting 100 points, man. You gotta save up the big bucks. So yeah, all I can see is the little infinity logo. So if I wanted to, I could choose a game, send a message. So, so I've spent 1,000,000 points to choose Breath of the Wild. Which I feel like I need to just go, oh no, now I have to play it. Oh, how sad. I have to continue on with that game that I've been playing since New Year, basically. And stream it. So, just drawing I can't describe as a hit gem. Right, how fucking cheesed of me to play my own game. It's just an example to show that it can be done. You can spend 1,000,000 points. I don't ever want to add in like 10,000 point things as well, but I don't know what I'd offer for him. Like, I'm torn between adding in like 10,000 point rewards and higher, but I don't ever want them to just be like jokes or anything like that. I kind of want them to be worth something, or like something to interact with the either with the chat or with the stream. So who knows? And bring this down. No, like this. I'm getting confused with my lines here now. Where do I want all this going? Like that. Yes. Yes. This. That looks right to me. I think this could be doing with a little bit, being a little bit higher. This is where asymmetry wins. It's not symmetrical, you have to worry about drawing it the same twice. Or making it match, rather. Little rivets here. I think that one actually needs to be a little bit lower. Nope. The magic. The magic of digital painting. So I'm using, it's a couple of years old now, but it's the iPad Pro 10.5 or something like that. Too much of the actual specs because I've just sort of bought and went, yes, big screen please. So it's 10.5. So it's about 3 years old now, this one. So there are newer ones with newer little features. I hated it to begin with. Absolutely almost had me in tears in that I couldn't draw on it. It was really, really bad. I was sat in a coffee shop waiting to go play some D&D, and yeah, it wasn't happening. I was like, I need to get this done because I'm doing Inktober, so I need a drawing every day, and it just wasn't coming together at all. But since then, I've gotten the hang of it, and I'm actually in love with it now. I can't see going back. If you want a little trip down memory lane with this iPad, I'll show you the what I drew first. So it's Inktober 2018 was the first day, or the first thing I drew on it, and it was this. Absolute trash. So like the perspective is wrong, the anatomy is wrong, there's all sorts of stuff that I absolutely despise about it. And that was day one of Inktober. And then you go to like day 2, where I'm starting to figure out a little bit more, but still just basically playing around with brushes more than anything. And then it was day 3 where I started to figure it out. So still rough as hell, but you can actually tell what I'm drawing. And I'm basically doing an image a month, or an image a day for a month. I ended up with doing this. So compared to what I'm doing now, leagues behind where I am now. But compare that to day 1, I think that's a hell of an improvement. And it was about this time I was like, okay, I think I can do this. I think the iPad is something I can continue using. So yeah, absolutely night and day. And then comparing that to today. I know exactly why I struggled so much in the beginning. So I used to draw on a Wacom tablet. So it was basically a trackpad that was hooked up to my PC. And I'd gotten comfortable with, when I was moving my pen, there was a point on the screen moving in the same way, but they weren't in the same place. And it was something that I had to learn to get used to. I had to learn to get used to going from pen and ink to using the tablet. Because it is very weird. You're moving the pen in one area, and your actual drawing is happening like up on your screen. So I'd gotten used to that, and like, this is how I draw now. So I have the pen here, the image is like happening here, and they move in sequence. Then going back to the iPad, it's more akin to drawing traditionally, where your pen is actually on the pad, and the actual pen is drawing where the ink is happening, where the image is happening. So going back to that was really confusing and really jarring. So it was basically like learning to walk again. So I knew, like, I had all my illustration like theory and fine motor skills, like all the knowledge was still there, but the actual format of doing it, like actually pen is touching where the ink is going again, was completely different and completely threw me. That and I used to use Photoshop, and I had all my brushes set up, I had all the sensitivity set up, and then I was going over to Procreate, which needs an equal amount of setup and tuning, which I just hadn't done yet. I hadn't learned the tools. So it was like drawing with a pen, like pen and ink, and then going to like calligraphy pens. You know how to draw, but you don't know the tools you're using. You need to get familiar with them. So it was an absolute nightmare, and there was a couple of sleepless nights of like, this costs a lot of money. I saved up for a while for this, and it hasn't been an immediate success. I think I might have fucked up. But keeping at it, and now I don't think I could go back. Well, I don't know. I think it'll be like riding a bike. I reckon going back to a Wacom tablet, I'd pick it back up faster than I pick the iPad up. Purely because I have some background knowledge of like, oh, I remember how this was. But yeah, it was not a happy Adam for a while. Yeah. The iPads have changed everything about digital art. They really have. They made it so much more accessible, so much more portable, and just like the barrier for entry is that much lower. That means everyone can get in on it. I think the bonus to a trackpad, like a Wacom tablet, I was doing a lot of like game designs, like 3D modeling, like 3D sculpting, like using ZBrush and 3ds Max, that sort of stuff. Stuff that really needed a PC. So having like your screen being drawn on was seen as like a massive luxury. You'd never really see that unless you looked at things like massive Cintiq. See if we can find a couple of images to actually illustrate what I'm talking about. Cintiq. Is it Cintiq? Cintiq. So these are really, really, or at least they were, when I first got into them, or when I first got into digital drawing, were big things you'd see in like Pixar studios or like big game development studios. They're huge, high def track like iPad screens that you draw on, and these are like the ultimate of like professional. Like these are like as luxe as you can get. That's what everyone wanted. That's what everyone wants to sort of have. But they're like $4 or $5 for something like that. Maybe even more. Like that one is $2,000. Looking at the review. So everyone got what were they called? Intuos. So I had the Intuos 4. So this is the one I had basically. Yeah, the biggest of oofs. Yeah, so you get that, and it would basically take over your mouse. So your mouse would become this pointer, and that allows you to go on to like 3ds Max, ZBrush, 3D sculpting, all that sort of stuff, which I was doing as like a game artist, and then using Photoshop to do illustration work the same way I would use an iPad. And the iPads came out and got really good at imitating what the Cintiq type tablets were doing, but for a fraction of the price. Tons more usability in terms of it's still an iPad, so all the apps and stuff like that that go into making the iPads a worthy buy anyway, it was just all compounded onto just like, why would you ever look anywhere else anymore? So now iPads are like almost like the standard for any like enthusiast artist or independent artist or any illustrator like that. iPads are everywhere. They've changed everything. And the one thing that I bear a massive grudge on about this iPad is the iPad that came out the year after wisely charges the Apple Pen, because this has a battery in it, it's powered, but it charges via lightning bolt adapter. So I need to jam that into my iPad's lightning adapter hole. I need to jam it up my iPad to make it charge, to give it power. But that means I can't charge the iPad because the charging socket is occupied. So I can either charge my pen from my iPad battery or I can charge my iPad battery, which is a fucking nightmare, especially because this doesn't tell you how full it is. You only get told that it's got 10% battery left, and that's a little like icon, like a little warning that pops up. Beyond that, you don't know. You have no idea. I think you get told like 10% of that 5%, and then it dies. Those are the only notifications you get of power. Whereas newer iPads, I think the year after I got this one, it came out, they now wisely charge as long as they're next to the iPad. So if I show you like my case, so for you guys, it's here. There's that little nub in there that just holds the iPad pen. So now, if it was a newer iPad, it would charge while there, just while I'm not doing anything. Oh, I'm gonna drop the thing as well. Which is like a huge quality of life boon, which I've missed out on. And it's like the only thing I would need to upgrade for now, other than just ambient, like more power, more pixels on the screen, that sort of stuff. But as far as like bugbears go for a piece of kit, it's pretty good. So yeah, that's just me gushing a little bit about iPads and stuff like that. They have changed so much. I think the people you see using them most are probably tattoo artists. like I think it's rare to see a tattoo artist that's younger, that has like a tenure in the industry, younger than like 5 years or 6 years maybe, not using an iPad. Um, like a lot of the old boys will still ink it out or do it freehand, things like that. But a lot more tattoo artists are using iPads because it's so easy, it's portable, you can take it to and from. Um, get Microsoft Surface, absolutely get one. I don't know how much they are, but get one immediately. You, like Avian, you've got a brand new job. You've got to celebrate, treat yourself. Get the expensive toy. Oh, you went for one. Sorry, I read that as want one. You went for one. Perfect. Now, it doesn't cost you anything. It cost past Avian Lion had to pay for it. Current Avian Lion got it for free. That's how finances work, right? In terms of it being Apple, like, there are things I do and don't like about it. Like, my iPad is an art machine. It does basically nothing else. I don't do anything else on it. Like, in terms of like customizability, like I have an Android phone. I used to have an Android tablet for art, but it was trash. And it kind of saw me off tablets for a long time. So in terms of like Apple, like it's fine. They do a bunch of stuff in weird ways that I don't think I'm fully on board with. Like they've gotten better, but in terms of like app assignment, or like how much you can customize your home screen, how much you can customize the actual machine itself properly, I think Android-based systems are a lot better. But there's a certain level of just plug in and go, it will work, that Apple products have, which Androids don't have taken time to catch up with, I feel. And almost doubly so for Microsoft. So, like, I wouldn't say I'm like the die-hardest fan of either way, in terms of like iOS for mobile versus Android. I probably like Android more than the other. In terms of operating system, I'd probably still go with Microsoft over Apple, even though most of what I do is on Apple. Yeah, like the thing that always put me off about it as well was everything was available on Microsoft, and just some of the things were available on Mac. So a lot of like 3D modeling programs and things like that were all PC born and bred, and it's only throughout time that they've become more commonplace on Mac. So for a long time, like Macs just weren't usable for me. Like they didn't have the tools I needed. Now though, that's completely different. It's way more open than it was 10, 15 years ago. And now it's just, I know Windows in terms of what it's used for and like where things are. Learning Mac would be going basically from scratch, because I know how to operate a Mac computer, but I don't know all the ins and outs. So it'd be a lot more learning that it's not really worth my time doing. I might as well just go for another Microsoft machine. But yeah, they've always been touted as like the best for like video editing and stuff like that, and with good reason. Like it's all like they've done well for a reason, and it's not all marketing ploys. But I've never been into video enough to really like take the plunge. Video and anything that really moves kind of scares me as a creative. I honestly, any luck finding any GPUs? I haven't looked, to be honest. I think I'm burnt from looking for a PS5. That I'm like, it's gonna happen when it happens. I can the world has more sorting out to do around the availability of these kind of things than I have patience and energy to dedicate to looking or combing the internet for each individual one. So for now, like, what I have, my PC works. It streamed a couple of modern games, like hot games, at the moment. So like, I don't need a new PC. Do I want one? Absolutely. Still really want a new one, because there are like AAA games that are nice and shiny that I want to play. But is it worth all the energy to keep on just day after day checking everything and going, nope, still nothing, nope, still nothing? Like, I'm busy. One day I'll get a new I'll get a new PC, and I'll get a PS5, and I'll be a modern boy living in a modern world. But right now, that shit just isn't in stock. It is just not for me at the moment. So for now, I will be happy to love my aging tech. Like my my PS4 is a launch PS4, still works brilliant. It sounds like a jet engine a little bit now, but it's still working fine. I'm still playing like modern games on it. The games I want to stream are either on Switch, or I'm just picking and choosing carefully which PC games to stream. Fortunately, Valheim is well within my computer's like ability range, so I've really been enjoying like Valheim and stuff like that. So at the moment, I can kind of get by. Switch 2. I look forward to getting that in 38 at this rate. I'm not sure. Let's give it a quick Google. Let's check in with Nintendo. What's going on with them? Nintendo Switch 2. Could launch. I'm seeing on Tech Radar. Could release before March 2022. So early to mid next year. Fair enough. I mean, the Switch is like a few years, like what, 5 years old now? Breath of the Wild just had its fourth birthday. So when was the Switch actually released? I've liked what I've played with the Switch, to be honest. We only got ours basically at the beginning of lockdown to hop on the whatchamacallit, the Animal Crossing hype train. And that game was fantastic fun to play around with. So Nintendo Switch came out 2017, so it's what, 5 years old now? No, it will be 5 years old. At that projected Switch 2 date. So 5 years is pretty short for a console, I feel, these days. Breath of the Wild has been an absolute joy to play. But other than that, I've never been too into Mario and Luigi and stuff like that. So it was never going to catch me for those games. But, so, has it got a mountain of games that I want to play on it? Not really, in terms of exclusives. They're games that I can get elsewhere. But, in terms of just fun games, the games that I have played have been truly fantastic. I cannot fault Nintendo for the quality of their games, really. Hey Sam, how you doing? It's good to see you, man. We're just talking switches up in here. Are they worth it? And I think, ultimately, depends. Like, obviously, if you like Mario and stuff like that, you're not going to go anywhere else. But in terms of like other Switch exclusives, like, there's very few that really jump out at me like I need to play or I really want to play. But the ones that I have played, I've really enjoyed. But it's still far from like my main console. I'm still just a PlayStation boy, ultimately. I used mates quite a bit back in the day. We couldn't justify the price, yeah. They were quite expensive. Like it was I think like how much did you get ours for? Like it was like $280 or something like that for the console, and then Animal Crossing bumped it up past the 300 mark. So was it hefty? Yeah, but it's allowed us, like, Breath of the Wild has been worth the entire thing. I think Breath of the Wild is a console seller. It really is. I've always had PlayStations, and it would feel wrong to not have a PlayStation, having had one ever since I was like 8 years old. But PC gaming is something I used to be into a lot more than I am these days, and would like to get more into again with the right computer setup. But the thing that holds me back with PC gaming is it's just not easy the way like it is the way console gaming is. Like if you, it's very much like it's the mechanics way of gaming. Like if you like getting into the nuts and bolts of stuff, then PC gaming is absolutely for you. But if you just want to turn it on, plug it in, turn it on, and start gaming, console. They're because they're custom made to be that. So I think they definitely have pros and cons, both of them. And that's not just me like trying to hedge my, like, sit on the fence. Like there are things that have me spitting feathers with both. I have access to grind with either systems, like console or PC. But even like the high-end rig, like having a high-end rig, you need to maintain that way more than you would ever need to maintain a console. Yeah, console is that because it's uniform technology that's copy pasted millions of times for everyone. It becomes very, very cheap to manufacture, and also developers know exactly what they're working with. Whereas with PC games, it's kind of got to be built for like the all-comer. So there's no like, or people are going to try and play this with like a 10-year-old rig, or like a 10-year-old rig, or like will that new graphics card work on this? What we're going to do about this GPU or this brand of graphics card? What about these motherboards? Whereas with like a console, like a PlayStation, you know what's inside that PlayStation. You know exactly the hardware you're building for. So unless you're really into tuning your PC, it can be a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, I have a lot of love for both. Like I know it's annoying that well, it's not annoying. It's people like having a camp on the internet. Like, where do you belong? So like, are you a PC master racer, or are you console scrub? Are you just a casual boy? Yeah. I mean, like 10 years, like you'd be overhauling a console anyway, and you're kind of at the mercy of another company, of like, say for example, PlayStation. They released like the PS5, and everyone goes like, brilliant, the new console. That's what the new standard is. Everyone gets PS5, and then next year, like a year or two down the line, Sony could turn around and go, we've had a revolution internally, so we're releasing the PS6. Everyone's going to be like, well, I just fucking bought a PS5, and you're now just telling me it's going to be invalid in like 2 years' time. Great, thanks, awesome. Whereas with PC, you can have a singular machine that lasts you years and years and years, because you can upgrade pieces incrementally. I love building and setting up PC gaming, sometimes to the point where I can spend hours modding a game and then playing it for 10 minutes. I mean, if that doesn't smack of PC gaming and like the mechanics mentality, I don't know what does. Then you are exactly the kind of person that is perfect for PC gaming, because you love getting under the hood. You want to see what the things are made of. You want to squeeze out everything you can from the machine. Then I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, PC gaming is for you, because you like getting under the hood. You're the same kind of person that if it was cars, you'd be a boy racer, or you'd be tuning your own machine, maybe even building a kit car. Yeah, the min-max of it all. I think the min-max is a very good way of putting it. And there are other sort of avenues in life that I like doing that kind of stuff. But with consoles or a gaming situation, I struggle. That's not where I want to like pour my energy, and I just kind of want something that works. I mean, I've talked to you, Avian, about actually building a PC, and I think you can tell my attitude is kind of, I want it to be good and I want it to work, but I don't know what works and what doesn't, so help. I just want it to be good. I don't want to tell, like, r/PC gaming my specs and have them laugh at me or something. But there are other things in my life that I will take a lot of effort to fine-tune and min-max. Sometimes it's just D&D character builds. Yeah. So when you say theory crafting builds for games, do you mean PC builds or character builds? Because I love theory crafted character builds. It's something I've loved with D&D since I got into it. Just going, ooh, I could take a level in Barbarian with this thing, and then I could take 2 levels in that for this other thing, and I could do one thing really good, like broken good, but I'm terrible at everything else. Yeah, if we ever start talking character builds, then I think, Avian, we could be talking for days. Days and days and days. I do it with things like Bloodborne and like Dark Souls. I love any sort of game that allows me to really customize what a character can do. Just build characters and watch the sun rise and set. Yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely do that. But like without a shadow of like hesitation. Like, hey, do you want call me anytime, night or day, and just go, hey, do you want to just theory craft a tank character in Dark Souls? Like, Yes, absolutely. Give me a concept. I want to build it with you. I have such a soft spot for Dark Souls character building. Because it really is, anything goes. And anything stupid goes. It is little things in life. I think you're absolutely spot on. I'm really excited to get into Dark Souls 3, actually. I think that's the biggest kicker with not having a PS5, is I'd love to stream some Dark Souls. But I want to get a complete run of platinum trophies across all the Dark Souls Soulsborne games. But that means I'm locked into a PlayStation, and that's in the living room, so I can't stream it very easily. But such is life. The Dark Souls DLC? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I ever had that. I got the remastered version, so I'm assuming the DLC... Oh, no! I remember now. You fight Artorias, don't you? Sif's master. Opus 3. I've got Scholar of the First... No, Scholar of the First Sin was the second one. I've got 3, but I think it's remastered. So I don't know if it comes with DLC or not. Man, I'd be down for a multiplayer, definitely. I don't know how I don't know. I've never actually done proper multiplayer for Dark Souls games. All I know is that the random summonings that you find around. It's like you find X-Blades Killer 55, and you summon him in, and he's just a naked dude with 2 giant dragon bone swords. You know, all right, cool. I guess I'm rolling with this guy for a boss. That's all. That's my extent of knowledge for like Dark Souls multiplayer. Yeah, and he fucking wrecks. Like, he comes in, he's got fucking nothing to his name. He's got, like, the weapons you looked at, scoffed at, and threw in a bin. And then he comes out and, like, one-hit KOs bosses non-stop. You're like, this guy is just on another level. That's the kind of summons I like. You go, oh, this guy is not playing the same Dark Souls that I am. He's playing something else. Yeah, he's ascended. Yeah, I love seeing that kind of stuff. Just like the trash that people come out with and like, oh, that works for you? Alright. Although, I know exactly... I'd love to play, I'd love to play another run of Dark Souls on stream. I usually... either big swords, light armor, or sword and board, heavy armor. It's usually what I go for. I've never really dabbled with magic that much. It kind of scares me, because sword, go hit bad guy, health, come off bad guy, I understand. Whereas all the magic's kind of like, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what I'm doing. I suddenly had to juggle mana as well as fucking stamina and health. Longswords are good, man. I appreciate longswords. I'm sure I've said it on stream before, but my build for Dark Souls 2 was longsword and shield throughout the entire thing, and I absolutely loved it. I'll see you later, man. Of course, have fun in work tomorrow. Actually wearing pants to work for change, not in your living room. You have to dress human. But yeah, I sword and board, and then longsword, and then I had one of each type of longsword. So like a raw longsword, a bleeding longsword, poison, lightning, fire, magic, enchanted, dark. I think on Dark Souls 2 in particular. So I had a longsword for every situation. I was sorted. It was a little bit ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, but it was good fun. So yeah, I don't know what I want to do with when I start Dark Souls 3. What I want to do build-wise, but I know I definitely want to. I want to do a run of Dark Souls 1 because I still love it, but I want to do that character from what was this? Demon Slayer, Pighead Man. Inosuke, that's the one. So I want to basically try and build this guy in Dark Souls 1. So I need the Iron Boar helm. I need nothing on top. Nothing on gauntlets. Like the barbarian leggings. Like the bandit leggings, sorry, something like that. And then some sort of either dual-wielding longsword or something like that. Like, just pump all the strength and endurance I can, and just play the most aggressive run possible. That's what I want to do with the Dark Souls run, just have a blast with it. I think Dark Souls 3, I might go for like a dual-wielding knife run. Because I don't dual-wield much on Dark Souls, even though it's a thing. So I might just make Knives McGee. Yeah, I'm always surprised at how old those games like genuinely are. Whereas like feverish as the fan base still is. Which covenant did I join? What, in Dark Souls 1? I was usually Sunlight Bros. And then Dark Souls 2 I was Sunlight Bros again, but that was more for the achievements, or the trophies. How's it going, Caleb? We're talking Dark Souls again, because we can't stop. So give me your favourite builds, Caleb. Absolutely crazy stuff. Like no other group really compares to the Sun Bros, because they're the best for PvP, which is what the Covenants are really all about. Or it's about killing other players, and I'm not really into PvP. I like PvE. Monster Hunter is a game that I've been looking to potentially pick up on Switch. To be fair, Caleb, because it's another game that I can use a Switch on. Because I've heard nothing but good things, and the character designs in those games are ridiculous. And you know I'm all about character designs. No, never played one. Never played a Monster Hunter game. I think Tro might have, but no, I never really had a Nintendo console. I think was Monster Hunter like Nintendo exclusive, or was it PC as well? It's never a game series I paid much attention to, just because it looked like a Final Fantasy style game. But I already had Final Fantasy, so I didn't need to look at it too much. But in recent months, the way I've been looking at it more and more, I'm like, oh, this looks like something that can be really good fun. Originally PSP, then went to Nintendo, now it's multi-platform. Yeah, fair enough. But I heard there was a new one on the horizon, I'm not sure what it's called, but I might give that a crack. Salaganders. The new one is Switch exclusive. Well, I do have a Switch, so why not? So, Monster Hunter World is what, 2018? PS4, Xbox, Windows, all sorts of shit. And then Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter Rise March 2021, so not far off at all. And then a Microsoft Windows version planned in early 2022. Okay. So I might pick that up on Switch. It gives me another reason to use my Switch, and really I need reasons to use my Switch past just whatchamacallit, Breath of the Wild. Because Pokemon games just aren't doing it for me yet. They've not been innovative enough. So maybe, yeah, Monster Hunter Rise might be where I join the Monster Hunter fandom. And then I can watch the movie and get all the in-jokes. Yeah, the more and more I've seen of Monster Hunter games, the more and more I'm like, oh, I should be into this. So I think this is the kind of character where I'm going to get all the large bits done, and then I'm going to spend days and days and days just detailing this, like adding little rips and tears and all sorts of shenanigans. Right, I'm going to leave this bit all down here for a bit, and let's go and see about drawing this talisman. So I reckon that we new layer it. So yeah, it looks like what? New Monster Hunter in what, like a week or two? I mean, I have no idea when I'll play it on stream. My schedule's already looking pretty busy. But maybe one day. Because Breath of the Wild is just so much fucking content. Like, so much game to get through. That I don't know if I'll ever properly finish that. Maybe I need to stop like going for like 100% runs and accept that there are going to be games that I don't 100%, which will crush me, but it's a big commitment. I'm not happy with this bottom bit here. So maybe, I don't know, like, how much multiplayer, like, how much of an MMO is Monster Hunter traditionally? I've seen a lot of people playing online with friends and stuff. But is it a proper MMO these days, or is it just kind of like a Dark Souls? Like, it's mostly offline, but you can just hook up with friends and rock around for a little bit. Where this thread's even going now. So with the hair that's whipping around, we've got this little strap that's also whipping around. I did a dumb. I didn't need that at all. Because this is going over here. That's how it's gonna go. I'll worry about actually joining these up to these links next week, because it's about bedtime, unfortunately. Back to work, so that means bed. Sad times, man. I know. You just got here. Where have you been all night? I've been here for like 3 hours, waiting for you. Waiting for you specifically, Caleb. A work call. Bring them in as well. Bring them here. Have the work call here. I'm sure there's no data protection shenanigans to worry about there. It's absolutely fine. We're all friends. It's alright, Caleb. I know, it happens. So I'll worry about how I'm going to join those up next week. But for now, I think we've done a hell of a lot today. Yeah. No, like something like that towards the end. So I know we seem to cut it too short, Caleb, but I gotta go. I gotta sleep. It's a busy day tomorrow. So I was on holiday last week. I gotta catch up on a load of stuff. I enjoy sleep too much. Sleep's addicting. I sleep too much, I enjoy it too much. But thank you for hanging out, guys. Caleb, even if it was for a couple of minutes. Normal streamer spiel. If you liked hanging out tonight, or you like what I did, please think about dropping a follow. I'm close to 100, and I think I'm going to do a bit of a giveaway when I actually hit the magic 100. So then I'm hitting the big leagues, big numbers. But for now, let's see, because some of y'all are still wide awake. So who can I send you towards? Who is about? We can... I think there was a... There was a thing. Shadow Sage. Is Shadow Sage still awake and streaming? The offline. Bad times. Let's send you towards PD Plays. He's just died in Minecraft, so I think he's going to need some love. Yeah, he's playing some Minecraft, so let's go send him some love. Tell him I sent you. And yeah, we'll see you again on Thursday for Breath of the Wild. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do some hijinks. I'll see you guys later.